Did you know that you could advertise on this channel? Well, you can. Call 815-290-9087 and talk to me today about advertising on our channel. We get over 3,500 hits. We also have a thriving website. We can come up with all sorts of packages for you and make things happen together. Again, that's 815-290-9087 or visit braddrake.net.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm Brad Drake of the PowerCast Network, and today we're going to take a look at a 1999 edition here of Inside Wrestling. Now, I was a subscriber to Inside Wrestling along with Pro Wrestling Illustrated and a few others, and I was going through a storage spot last week, and I found what I thought was a full box of wrestling magazines, but it only turned out to have about 10 wrestling magazines or so in there. So let's take a look at this issue of Inside Wrestling. It's in very good condition for being in storage for a couple decades. And on the cover here, of course, is Diamond Dallas Page and the lovely Kimberly. And I can't exactly remember in fall of 1999 if Kimberly was with DDP at that point or what the case was. But Kimberly was part of the Nitro Girls, and then she was doing some on-screen stuff, if you remember, along with Paige. And we're about 5 years removed here from when Kimberly Page made her most famous thing of going topless on the 40-Year-Old Virgin movie. So let's open up here and let's take a look. And boy, these old magazines bring back some memories. Check this out. There's an ad there for the ECW hotline. You just don't see stuff like that anymore. Hotline stuff, that's pretty interesting. And there's Chris Jericho. January 99, he was running strong in WCW, and right below that we have a picture of Dan Severn with Ken Shamrock. And I just recently read Dan Severn's book, and he talked about how much he did not like Ken Shamrock and thought he was kind of a phony. So this is pretty interesting. We're going to take a look here and go through this and see what we can see. There's all the letters, of course. We're not going to read all these, but let's check this one out. Let's read the caption here first. Great young wrestler or wimpy crybaby. WCW TV champion Chris Jericho can be both at times, but reader Ryan Turgey appreciates everything he has accomplished in WCW so far. So here we are, January 99, so Jericho has been in WCW for like a year and a half, maybe 2 years at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and read this here. A real Jericho-holic. I am writing to say that it's about time that the fans of WCW and the readers of Inside Wrestling start recognizing the great accomplishments of Chris Jericho, one of the best young wrestlers in the world. In just 2 years in WCW, Jericho has won 4 Cruiserweight titles and the TV title. He has also defeated Dean Malenko, who is one of the finest technical wrestlers ever to compete in WCW, and the top-ranked wrestler in the 1997 PWI 500. Plus, Jericho is one of the few cruiserweights who can truly compete effectively in the heavyweight division. And this, of course, was written by Ryan Torgay of Exeter, Rhode Island. Remember, everybody, this is the 90s, and you're actually writing in letters to P.O. boxes. So there it is. There's the P.O. box right there. This is good stuff. Talk about a time capsule here. There's a lot of really cool letters here about DX, Medusa, Michelli. Let's read this caption up here. Former WWF Women's Champ Medusa, a.k.a. Alundra Blaze, threw her title belt in the trash when she moved on to WCW. But Rita Marcia McKnight says she is just what the WWF needs to save the image of American women. Well, from what I recall, in the fall of '98, women's wrestling was still pretty much a joke in the United States and not being taken seriously. However, it's funny this person writes this because I don't think it was for too much later that Medusa made another comeback to WCW. So here we go. Here's a picture of the Generation X down there. Triple H is the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion. The New Age Outlaws, the Tag Team Champions. X-Pac is the European Champ. Interesting stuff. Look at some of those names there. Publishers, Stuart M. Sachs. Bill Apter was still involved, senior editor. This is good stuff. This is a lot of fun. Look at this. The old ordering sheet where you could order the issues. Wow. This is good stuff and taking me back. Names making news. Yeah, remember that these magazines, you know, they covered the Outlaws too. The Outlaws, the Independents, however you want to put it. They're talking about Music City TV syndicator, Bill Barron's Music City. I used to watch that on late nights on Channel 50. I used to set the VCR to record it. This is really cool, fun stuff, seeing this again. And I gotta say, outside of the yellowing pages and that, this magazine is in really good shape. Check this out. They're making the conversion here, now available by email. So you could get a Pro Wrestling Illustrated Weekly email. $1.95. Cool stuff. I had a part-time job back then. I had a couple part-time jobs. I was in high school. Let's see, in '99, I was still 16. I hadn't turned 17 yet. And I had 2 part-time jobs, and I used to take my hard-earned money, and I would subscribe to all these wrestling magazines. And even then, you know, these magazines were always 2 or 3 months behind. But it was really cool stuff. What have we got there? That's the Sandman. This must have been right before he moved to WCW. Article here with Larry Zbyszko. Another hotline ad. Collector's Corner. You can get the old magazines, the back issues. Ha! Look at these. 1959. This is good stuff. This is really good stuff. This is a lot of fun, taking a look at these old magazines. There was the posters that would come out. There's one of Taz here, a profile. Wow. Talking about Bruno Sammartino, where he's at now. Good stuff, really good stuff. More back issues advertisements. News from the Wrestling Capitals. Who the heck was Streak? I don't remember that name at all. Remember Devon Storm. Manny Fernandez and Rick Link. New Dimension Wrestling, there you go. Manny Fernandez was still pretty active there in 99, 98. Look at this, other bouts. We're going to read this. New Dimension Wrestling Brass Knuckles champ Rick Link showed everyone why he is nicknamed the Beastmaster when he viciously attacked Fernandez, pounded him to the mat, then choked him on the ropes. The two men battered each other with their fists and foreign objects until Manny was a bloody mess. Later, they slammed each other into a chain-link fence separating the baseball field from the stands of Walt Powell Park. Soon Link was a bloody mess as well. The referee tried to get both men back into the ring, but his efforts were unsuccessful, so the match ended in a double countout. Other bouts. Tully Blanchard pinned Buddy Landel. Chains beat Dark Patriot. Demolition Axe beat King Kong Bundy by disqualification. The Rock and Roll Express beat Bobby and Jackie Fulton. Jimmy Valiant beat the Iron Sheik. This is 98. The Iron Sheik is still going here. So is Jimmy Valiant. Jimmy Valiant was in his late 50s here. Bambi beat Leilani Kai. The tag team champs, the Rising Sun, defeated Mike Winner and the Fightin' Okie. This is good stuff here, everybody. Wow. More stuff on Jericho here. Yeah, the fun of these magazines for me was not always the articles on the big name wrestlers, but the fun was the indie stuff that they covered. Kane and Undertaker here. Man, this is This is memory lane all the way. There's the main article here. Check that out. That's when Jackie was paired up with Mark Merrow for Merrow's heel change. Heel turn, I should say. Heel run. Good stuff. Really good stuff here. If I'm correct, at the end, it may have been PWI, but at the end they used to have a ranking system. Let's see if this one has it too. Here's an article on Conan. Conan had that babyface run with the Wolfpack back when they split the NWO in '98, which to me was stupid and permanently ruined the NWO forever. Look at this. Arn Anderson talking. Interview with Arn Anderson. Really cool. This is a pretty long one here too. Look at those old photos. This was a shame when they brought the Four Horsemen back and then they killed it off. And it was just a waste of time, and it had so much heat, it was so much fun when it started. They just ruined it. There you go. Severn and Shamrock. Everybody wanted to see a big feud with the two of them in the WWF, and it just never happened. Another waste. They did some stuff, but nothing serious. Here it is, where they had the feud with Hall and Nash. And they're trash talking each other here. Again, really good stuff. Really, the creativity of these writers. These people, for those of you that don't know, they would get permission to write this. They wouldn't even actually talk. Here you go, and more letters where they're ripping into people. Francine Freak. I just watched ECW's Heatwave '98, and the action was great, but what got me really excited was the sexiest woman on TV, Francine. Shane Douglas is the luckiest wrestler in the world to have Francine in his corner. If I were a professional wrestler, Shane would have a big problem, because I would pick her to be my manager. Isn't there a picture of Francine in a bikini that you guys could print in your magazine? She is so hot. Stephen Gwen. Aden, North Carolina. You gotta imagine how many of these letters and write-ins were fake. Look at these ads. Steroid results, supplements. Oh, here's a book about how you can get into pro wrestling. Check this out. This was the mail-in stuff. There wasn't websites. Now you can find out what you need to know to enter the exciting world of pro wrestling. This very insightful new 1998 edition is written by two active professionals in the wrestling business who have worked for every major wrestling association, including WCW and the WWF. You are advised what to do, where to write, how to act, what to say, how to get various jobs, what your chances are, and how to better those odds. It explains many inside things you never know, but need to know. Details of over 50 different jobs possible in professional wrestling. Lists addresses of U.S. promotions, and best wrestling schools. Tells you where to order boots, tights, etc. in the U.S. and U.K. Wow. Only $15, including postage. Pro Wrestling Career Book. There it is. You can write to them. This is good stuff. Boy, how things have changed in just a couple decades. Grow taller. The ability of boosting. 100% safe and effective means of boosting human growth. Really good stuff. And here's back issues, so I don't think this is the one that had the rating system. But you do have old match coverage. I don't know what year this was from. Probably says it. There it is, more subscription information. Ah, yes, here we go, the official ratings. There you have it. Top 15 all-around ratings. Austin, Goldberg, Bret Hart, The Undertaker, Hogan, Kane, DDP, Rocky Maivia, Lex Luger, Mankind, Rob Van Dam, Chris Jericho, Rayo de Jalisco Jr., Kenta Kobashi, the Colorado Kid, WCW, WWF, ECW. Yeah, they used to put Japan and International. Top 5 tag teams. They got Sabu and Rob Van Dam as number 1. It's good stuff. Roll Call of Champions. This is where they had all the promotions and the independent promotions. This is what I used to really like subscribing for. You got all this information. You could see what's going on in all the independents. This was a lot of fun. Check this out. They were still calling. They still had the Triple Crown split up here, so they were still acknowledging the Pacific Wrestling Federation titles, even though they were technically a part of the Triple Crown. That's different. Good stuff. Good stuff. This to me was the best part of subscribing to these magazines, was that you could get all this from around the country and international news. You can see right there it ended October 8th, 1998. Boy, I was 16, October 8th, 1998, having the time of my life. Not really. I had more fun later on, but it was still good to be a teenager in this time period because you got to see really good wrestling. WWF and WCW were hot. And I got to grow up in the 80s there and get to see all that taking place too. It was excellent. So that's it, folks. That's what these magazines looked like. And they were an absolute blast. So thank you for tuning into this episode, everybody. This was January 1999. Please make sure to leave a comment, hit that like button, and give us a subscribe. And we'll keep doing these. I'll be more than happy to go through the other magazines I have if you're interested. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.